This morning on The Dish, we head to San Francisco, where chef David Nayfeld has shown you can come home again. The Bay Area native and son of Soviet Jewish immigrants was classically trained, first at the Culinary Institute of America, then in some of the finest kitchens in the U.S. and Europe. Through work and travels, Nayfeld found a connection with food that he wanted to pass on to diners. It's what's behind his award-winning restaurant, Fico, described as Italian cuisine through a California lens. As for the name itself, colloquially, it means so cool, which at Fico pretty much describes every aspect.
San Francisco's Fico is a feast for the senses. All of the senses.
It's loud and vibrant, and the food is unpretentious and unapologetic. And we are very, very serious about the quality, but we're not very, very serious about ourselves.
No talking, just eating.
Chef and co-owner David Nayfeld opened the Italian Taverna 4 years ago with business partner Matt Brewer. In Nayfeld's words, it was kismet.
The second that I walked in this former auto body shop and the skylights were beaming through and I saw the vaulted ceilings and I saw the big sign with the arrow on it, I got chills down my spine, and I felt like for the first time I said, this is really where my restaurant needs to be. I need to be here.
So pasta out.
As for the food,
I wanted to cook food that I wanted to eat daily. I wanted a restaurant where I could see regulars, and I wanted craveability.
Nayfeld calls the cuisine rustic finesse, something you'd find in a small cabin in the Italian countryside or a Tuscan villa. Dishes like chicken marsala and margarita pizza with a crust befitting San Francisco, or even the cucina ebraica, Fico's Jewish cuisine, which honors the chef's heritage.
We have our kind of Roman Jewish ghetto staple, which is a soupli, risotto rice on the inside, and then when you break it, it's melty cheese, a street food. It's just one of the most delicious and kind of comforting things you could ever eat.
Oh my God.
Nayfeld grew up in San Francisco. His parents escaped religious persecution in the Soviet Union, fleeing to Rome before settling in the U.S.
The great thing was that they looked at my brother and I and said, you know, we've made all these sacrifices and we had a dream for you guys to be able to live the lives you wanted to live, so do the things that make you happy. Don't do things only for money.
I'm good with the beigeli and I'm good with the mezzaluna.
For Nayfeld, it turned out to be a little of both, finding happiness and money washing dishes at a local restaurant.
School was just never something that connected, right, for me. I just missed everything that was said. And it was just painful for me to sit in a classroom. The second I walked into a kitchen, I was pointed at a stack of pots and pans, grease everywhere, soap suds coming over the edge of the dish pit, and I just felt it. I felt like I was in my place. I understood what was going on, and it just made sense from that moment.
He says ADHD was what made traditional school so difficult, but when he got to culinary school, everything changed.
I had never done well in math. I had never done well in geography, never done well in science. The second that you applied any of those things with the filter of food, wine, and hospitality, all of a sudden my mind was able to pick it up.
From the Culinary Institute of America, Nayfeld began to build a resume few can match, working in world-renowned kitchens like Nobu, 11 Madison Park, and The Mansion. Among the things he learned:
refinement, an eye for excellence, and an unwillingness to compromise on excellence and on integrity.
The manifestation was Fico, where Nayfeld says he found his true voice as a chef, creating connection by using seasonal and market-driven foods, like the sun-gold tomato and San Francisco Bay anchovy salad, or a simple small melon plate with olive oil, basil, and mint.
They sing together, it's harmonious, and I think that that's the key to our cuisine, really, is this idea of finding finesse.
The sweet corn trangoli, another perfect example. Pureed sweet corn inside handmade pasta, topped with corn, chanterelle mushrooms, and chives.
I love this. This, to me, this is summer flavors. So, once again, simplicity, not over-adorning it, not trying to show too many techniques. The technique is the quality of pasta, the perfection of the cook, and the sourcing of the ingredients, right? Very, very simple.
And while Nayfeld clearly takes pride in each bite,
Dark chocolate and hazelnuts. It's one of my favorite pairings.
he admits his priorities shifted when he became a father to now 3.5-year-old Elena.
My restaurant functions without me every single day. The team that we've cultivated here is incredibly talented.
That's why it works.
And it works because they're incredibly talented. They buy into the ethos and the values. We compensate incredibly well, which is something that I cannot, state enough, which is fair compensation is tantamount to our industry moving forward.
It's why Fico raised its wages and its prices post-pandemic.
We've been able to include a profit-sharing model with our team. We distributed $70,000 from 1/4 of profits to our staff. Folks who have been here for a number of years, managers, dishwashers.
Front of house, back of house,
everybody. What we're doing is we are really creating a space for people to come, to learn, and to have security in themselves and in their lives, and not feel like they have to sacrifice every shred of human dignity in order to just be here.
What do you hope somebody who comes in here just to dine walks away with?
Simply put, I just want people to enjoy the moment, right? And I want you to order something that makes you happy. I don't necessarily need people to be batted over the head with the fact that we roll every sheet of pasta by hand and we make ragu over 12 hours and that we put 36-month Parmigiano Reggiano on it. Those are all things that we know for our own satisfaction of our craft, of our métier. The guests should just know that they love it and that they're enjoying it, and that's all.
And, he's doing all these things in his restaurant, but also fighting for other restaurants and those in the food service industry to start to make some of this more normal, those wages, the increased wages, so that this doesn't have to be about only the privileged or you can't afford to do this job.
What was so interesting, he said that his employees bought into the ethos and values, and that's what makes this incredible team. But what seemed to be evident with him and with so many others doing well post-pandemic is that they bought in to their staff.
That's right. That's exactly it.
You have to pay them more because there's so many opportunities for them, and it's so difficult for every restaurant now to still define work.
Exactly. A dry Negroni. Cheers to Fico.
Cheers.
Sorry, the food does not travel from the West Coast well, but I brought you a drink.
All right. Nice.